What's going on, guys? Julien here, back with another video. In light of the masterclass that I'm dropping tomorrow, Friday, September 12th, about K9 Vanquisher, I'm going to show you guys a replay of me playing the mirror and why I'm the best of the deck. So, here we're playing against Elector, 1800 rating on DB, like pretty high rated, against this bozo right here, 1200, whatever. So, we win the die roll, so we're going first in the mirror. I open, let's see, let me show you guys both hands. I open a pretty poor hand, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I almost want to pass when I see this hand, but like, you know, there's too many decks that can put up game like way too easily. So I have Jokul, Fua, Case for K9, Fua, Izuna, and my opponent has Case, Jiaolong, Phantasme, Lantern, and Borger, right? So here I'm like, I kind of want to pass, but nah, I gotta play, right? So I go Jokul, reveal Izuna. Again, no Vanquisher cards. This is pretty rough, but we're going to make the best board possible. I dump Lupus. I go Joko, add Lantern. I make Ripper. And then I go Ripper, detach the Joko, which honestly I should have detached the Izuna, just so that I have, there's no way for my opponent to summon a Bistro on me, like ever. Just like never turn on Bistros. Like, that was a small misplay. Add another Izuna just for the next turn. Lantern, Reborn, Lupus. And then here I'm thinking if I want to add the quick play spell or if I want to add another case, I decide to add another case just to keep knowledge like private. Like, I'm feeling there's no way that I'm getting stopped in order to make my Nash Knight, like when I've not been stopped up to here. So I add the case, which adds the Joko. I make Nash Knight upgrades into Masquerade with C Nash, and then Masquerade pops case, and then sets the quick play. The good thing about this board is that the way my opponent is gonna try to play it is that he's actually like, they're gonna try to like out my monsters, right? So if that does happen, if both my monsters get outed, like the werewolf once I upgrade the Ripper, as well as the Masquerade, then I actually might have my my Fuelos' turn on. So my opponent draws returns, and then their hand is like actually pretty cheeks, so they end up scooping. So here I'm my opponent blind scoop, right? So I'm blind siding. So I think to myself, like, what's the best way to side? And I kind of go for like, I kind of put in like everything. I put in the Perulias, the Droll, and the Nibs, which is a lot more than I usually do. But this way I feel like I have a wider coverage than I normally would, right? Like, I don't usually put the Nibs in the mirror, but let's see what happens. So my hand's pretty nice. Holy Sue, Perulia, Droll, Lantern, Borger into like Talent, Star, Raisin, Madlove, and Raisin. So I obviously stand by Perulia. My opponent goes Raisin, adds Sue. And here I'm thinking, like, if my opponent already has attributes, if I draw here, like, it's not going to be pretty good. They might still be able to set up, like, a decent half board. And so I decided to hold my draw and try to draw into the attributes to make Sue live, because right now all I have is Darks to go with my Holy Sue. Then I activate Start. I'm like, okay, maybe I should have rolled. And he had Caesar. So I'm like, okay, it's pretty tough. After adding Caesar, my opponent makes Rock effect, add back the Raisin. And then Holy Sue summon itself, revealing Raisin, right? So here I get it to draw another card, and I draw into Nib. Then my opponent reveals 2, summons Jiaolong, and then they go with Prio, Jiaolong revealing 2 fires, and adding a Snow Devil. So here, it's obvious that my opponent is going to go into Ripper next, right? So I'm thinking, and then they like immediately do it, so I just let them know, like, one sec. I'm thinking. And so I don't have, guys, 500 IQ play right here. Take some notes. Bring out the notepads. So I don't have the attributes. However, something that I know about how this deck interactions work is that when your opponent goes Holy Sue, right, and you have Caesar in hand, you usually, most of the time, want to chain Caesar so that with Prio you can pop the Sue. That way, if they chain to special summon from deck, you pop whatever they summon, right? And I'm thinking that right now, my hand might look pretty good, but it's not actually that good. But it's going to get a lot better because my opponent's on 4 summons. If I can get my opponent to summon Caesar here, I get to draw a card. Not only do I get to draw a card, I also get to turn on Nib and just like have my opponent not have 2 5s anymore, right? So I take the gamble. I go Holy Sue. I reveal the Madlove because I don't want my opponent to know about the border. Just like, I don't want my opponent to know that I have a monster that can like dodge their interactions, right? I reveal the Madlove. And then my opponent here takes the bait and chains Caesar, which, like, I mean, I have 6 cards in hand. It's pretty likely that I have the attributes when I've already revealed one. I draw into Izuna. Guys, I'm the GOAT. Anyways, I summon my Holy Sue. And here, I was even about to ask, like, anything with Prio. I don't even have to. my opponent activates it immediately, and then I'm thinking, so I'm obviously gonna chain Sue, right? Because my Sue can die, to steal now that I have an Earth in hand, and then I'm just deciding if I also want to chain the border, but I decide that no matter what, I can border on the next chain because if I summon border now, it's just gonna get popped. I can border on the next chain because either so I'm gonna steal the rock here, right? Either my opponent pops their own monster that I take, so they don't get it back, or they pop my Sue, which they're most likely gonna pop my Sue. And then here, because I know they have the trap, this me stealing the rock is gonna go so hard, because now I can go. So I wait for them to like take some actions, right? Now I can go rock special summon the Mad Love, and then I can Mad Love search my field spell so that first of all, because we're still under Perulia, and I'm about to disrupt my opponent more. If my opponent tries to um, play more and I just get to draw more, then I can actually have a better normal summon, like if I draw into a Raisin or something. And also, I can start my turn by activating Start, which checks the field spell immediately. And we know Caesar is not going to be on the field because I have Nib at the worst. So my opponent here doesn't do anything, still tries to go end phase. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna draw a card, right? I now bounce my Mad Love, put the normal summon back in my hand, which is really important. And then I go border to draw a card. Draws into a Jalong, which isn't the worst, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Again, now my opponent tries to still isn't doing anything, so I'm gonna use my Azuna obviously into Lupus, and then I'm gonna overlay. Here I overlay into Nash Knight because all I care about is them not having Caesar on board. Like I can play through the Vanquishable Disruptions like pretty easily with my hand, right? Like my Lantern is now live because I will have Lupus Engrave. I also have Start, Mad Love, I have Jiaolong that I can summon because I can reveal a Dark. So it's pretty good. I don't need to do anything fancy, but they still have Trap with 3. I literally know the attributes. So they have Trap with 3 attributes. So I want to start my board with something that I can like just straight up SP into, right? To out the trap. So like making a Ripper like wouldn't work. So I do this and imagine, oh my god, guys, imagine I made Ripper and he goes Talon Stake. I would have been so sick. So I make Nash. I use Nash effect. Then he takes with talents, which is like here. I'm like that was the last unknown, so I'm like, all right, bet. I win now because I know exactly what my opponent's gonna do. They're gonna upgrade this Nash into Masquerade while outing my bodies, which I don't care about because I have Nib. So now I just let my opponent do their thing. Let them waste their extra deck resources, right? Like there's no reason for me to like let them keep their cards in their extra deck. And then here, when they try to pass again, I now in the main phase will attempt Nibiru, which obviously resolved because I know my opponent doesn't have anything. So they get the token. Here, what's important about the token placement is actually really important. I put it in defense, right? That way, if I summon an XYZ monster and want to Zeus for some reason at some point, doesn't matter like if it's most likely not gonna happen. If it can happen, I want the token to attack because it's in defense. Like if they summon bigger monsters, I don't have to attack into those. Whatever. That's reason number 1. Reason number 2 to put the token there in defense is I don't want it across from my Nib. I want a zone that I can play into safely. And you're thinking like, oh, Julien, you have Start. You can like protect your guys. Yeah, I can protect them from the trap, right? But from Raisin and stuff, I want a zone that I can play into safely for now. So I now let my opponent go to end phase. I say end phase is fine because I know they don't have anything. Like you literally can't play it. I draw into Caesar, which is a decent draw, like not needed. You'll see, you guys will see not needed. So I start with activate Start, which I was able to get to my hand last turn because I stole the rock. It's pretty clean, right? Activate Start. Now my Mad Love can't be touched, and I know that my opponent's only disruptions really is like a Holy Sue Steal and a Raisin Pop at best with like the trap, but I can protect from the trap. The Holy Sue Steal is only if they go like Raisin Search something. The great thing about all this, Caesar's in the graveyard, and like no way my opponent plays more than 1 Caesar, right? So now I wait. My opponent's thinking. They're like, sure. I go normal summon Mad Love, no effect because I set it out the trap. And then here I'm just waiting to see what my opponent tries to do. One thing that I didn't want to do, so like I could have gone like Mad Love reveal 2 to bounce the Nib here, but knowing all the cards, I know that I'm gonna win this turn. And so what I want to do is I want to keep my my reveal in hand, like my effective reveal as long as possible until they threaten my Mad Love, so that I can just summon Jiaolong. Like I have infinite pushes here, so I just want to make sure that like I can use them correctly. So my opponent reveals all 3 and pops the board. I remind them I forgot to like reveal, but obviously I was protecting my Mad Love because I didn't send it to the graveyard. They had Holy Sue, which shows me exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to steal my my Mad Love so that I cannot start search, which is fine, right? I don't care about that because once they goes to steal, I chain Mind Love to bounce. I just remove bodies from his field, like just to make it easier to kill. And also, I don't accidentally play into the Raisin column, right? So I remove bodies. They steal the Mad Love. So now the last disruption they have is the Mad Love, but I have Jiaolong summon. And Jiaolong, look at this, 2100 defense. Like, even if they could bounce it, I still have Lantern. I can FTK or OTK, sorry, with all these cards, right? I still like now I have Lupus special and everything. But yeah, so here from here I search. I'm thinking of what to search, and I decide to search Sue. Even though I have Sue in Grave, I actually need the Fire in hand. So when I go Rock add back, I actually want to add back the Jiaolong. So this is what I do. I go Rock add back Jiaolong, and now like you can see by my hand, like it's just over. So yeah, so we say GG's, but just to show you guys what I could have done more, I could have summoned Sue, reveal fire plus dark. I put the lantern in the grave, but it's in my hand. Summon like Raisin, Search, or even summon Jiaolong, make a rank 5. Actually, summon Raisin, Search, anything, it doesn't matter. Caesar, bounce the Raisin, summon, pop, start, Lupus, summon back, overlay, and after that, Lantern, summon back, overlay. Like, I have infinite. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, the masterclass is coming out tomorrow, Friday, September 12th. I'll be dropping a quick sneak peek video tomorrow, so make sure to check that out. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye.